Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So I'm checking in with you all. Today is Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. So usually I check in every Monday or on Mondays, EST time, and it's been a busy 2 weeks. I believe the last time I checked in with my audience was 2 weeks ago. So over the past 2 weeks, I've onboarded two clients for sure, and we're in the final negotiation stages for a third client. So all of the clients that my firm onboards, they are looking for a bookkeeper. So usually, in the month of this, towards the end of December, business owners in the United States, they realize, oh my gosh, I haven't really done my books and I want to file my tax return. So the deadline for tax return preparation here in the United States is April 15th or 17th, depending on the year. But it's the second week of April in the following year. And that's just for business owners that are running their business as a single member LLC or a sole proprietorship. For business owners that are running their business as S corporations and C corporations, the deadlines are different, but this all goes back to the trends. So as an accountant and also from my analytical side, I know that towards the end of December, business owners, they are worried. They wake up and they say, oh gosh, haven't done my books. I need to find a bookkeeper. So the platform that I use to actually onboard clients is called Upwork. So if you're a freelancer in the United States or in Africa, you can sign on into Upwork. I will share a link in this video or in the comment section of the video, depending on where you find it, on Facebook or on YouTube. So I will share a link on how you can sign up on Upwork as a freelancer. If you're in Africa, you can actually sign up and get paid. I do know that some freelancers in Kenya, they get paid with M-Pesa. So wherever you are in the world, you can sign up on Upwork. My team, my bookkeeping team, we have one person that lives in Rwanda, one person that lives in the Philippines, and we're all able to get paid. So, Upwork it's a good tool for you to have if you're a freelancer and you're looking for something to do. So it goes back again to the trends in the market. So, December is a month where business owners, they want to get their books prepared. So they put an advertisement on Upwork and they say, oh my gosh, I need someone to reconcile my books for the whole year. And the reason, sometimes they tell you the reason, which is because I want my tax return prepared. They're going to send their, the books, the financial or the profit and loss statement that we're going to generate for them. In QuickBooks, they send that to their CPA for review, or they just use that information to file their tax return. So they come to us and they say, I need this done. And my response to them when I want to onboard them is say, well, we can get this done for you, and we can also file your tax return, and we can provide monthly bookkeeping service so you don't have to worry about this next year. Now, the price range that we give them, I always quote them a retainer. So this is a fixed rate that they have to pay every month. And the rate, it depends. It depends on where they are in their business. So if they're a startup, they're just starting up. They don't even have QuickBooks, for example. They just use Excel. The rate is on the lower end. If they're a business that's been there for a couple of years, it's on the higher end. So today I quoted someone for a retainer. And that was $995 a month that they have to pay at the beginning of every month, and this is on a monthly basis, so that depends. The benefit, or what I pitch to them, is I tell them, well, if you pay this retainer, we take care of all of your reporting needs. So not just your tax return, but if you need to have your franchise tax report done, we can do that. If you need to do your quarterly estimated report for single member LLCs, we can do that. So whatever you really think you need, we can do that for you at my firm. And so some of those responses I get back and they say, yes, I would like this. This is great. How can I sign up? And then I just tell them, we'll start a contract on Upwork and fund the contract. And there we go, then we can get started. So that's how you can do, that's how it's, as a business owner, think about what your customers want, how they will behave at a certain point during the year, and then meet that demand, meet their needs, and even go a little higher and say, hey, we can do this for you, not a problem, and we could do this and this and this as well if you're interested. So very busy couple of 2 weeks, send out a lot of proposals. So far so by the end of this week we should have 3 more clients. I wanted to have more, but it's okay. 3 is better than none. I would like to have 10 new clients every month during tax season, because I know that I will get those requests where business owners want a specific need, and my response is to address that need and also to offer more that I know that they need. So if everything goes well, between now and the end of April, we should have 40 clients. Also, I'm guessing that sometime in October, we might have 10 more, because in October, that's where the extension deadline expires. So for business owners that file for an extension to file their tax returns, that gives them an extra 6 months. And the deadline is sometime in, the second week of October of that following year. So that is how I anticipate the behaviors of my potential customers. So that's on one end. That's what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. Now on the other end, which brings me to the reason behind this video and my new hat, as you can see. So I mentioned in a previous video, just when I got back from Rwanda, so I let everyone know that, I made it safely back in the United States, everything went fine, and that there was a lot of work to do. I learned a lot, had a good time, but again, this goes back to the work. And I shared with you all that in 2020, I had registered a company in Rwanda, and also a company by the same name here in the United States, because I was thinking about my long-term goal of retiring in my native country where I was born. And so while I was going through that process in 2020, I was looking at the long term. And during my trip in Rwanda, I found out a lot of things. So I found out about the capital markets in Rwanda, the stock market, and I've been doing a lot of research over the past 2 weeks to learn about the companies that are listed. And even though the research is a lot, because I am a studious person, I actually appreciated the information available. You can all know about the companies traded on the Rwanda Stock Exchange by just going to their website. They have yearly reports, and actually I was pleasantly surprised to see that I would say the majority of those companies, they give out very good dividends. And that's always good to have dividends. And as an investor, number one, the stocks traded on the Rwandan Stock Exchange are very, very affordable to you in the diaspora. Most of them, I think actually all of them are under $1. Okay, $1 USD. So you can definitely afford to buy stocks, to buy the stocks that are listed. And I would say more than half of those stocks will actually pay you dividends during the year. So not every year, it depends. You do have to read the information for and they like to call it investor relations communiques. But there are dividends, so that's another benefit. So they're affordable and they pay you dividends. What you could do is, if you get a broker and you buy a stock, every time they pay you a dividend, you can tell your broker, you know what, reinvest that and buy more and buy more and buy more. So really, by just paying out with one outlay of capital from your pocket to your brokerage account, it can pay you back in so many ways, especially if you have a long time, if you have a long strategy that you want to implement. So, read about the stock exchange, read about some companies. I will start sharing the information about those companies on our the new YouTube channel of my company. So I shared with you all that I registered Diaspora Venture Capital LLC in the United States, and there's also Diaspora Venture Capital Limited in Rwanda. So those two companies are going to work together. The goal is to route diaspora money to the capital markets in Rwanda. What I want to do ultimately by next year, by the end of 2022, I want to have about $1 million. So my goal is to fund $1 million from the diaspora into the capital markets in Rwanda. So the portfolio of Diaspora Venture Capital Limited, 72% of that portfolio is going to be invested in Rwanda and in the EAC. And the rest, so about 25%, will go to other capital markets in Africa, including Ghana. And I do want to invest in one startup company in 2020, at the end of 2022. I already have a criteria of the startup that I want to invest in. I haven't found that company yet, but I'm looking to invest about 50,000 USD into a startup and help that startup to be listed on the RSC within 3 years. Within 3 fiscal years of our investment. So a lot of, we're going to be very busy in 2022. A lot of networking is going to happen, and we do have to fund, Diaspora Venture Capital Limited. So what I'm going to do is, number one, talk about the capital markets in Rwanda more often on the Diaspora Venture Capital YouTube channel. So I do ask you to subscribe, and you have to click on a bell icon or something like that, so that every time we post, you can get that information. So number one, we're going to have commentary about the stocks on the capital markets, but also there is a new shop in Rwanda called the Kigali International Finance Center. So this is a new shop that has the goal of the KIFC, the acronym, is to facilitate investments from the diaspora to Rwanda. So the KIFC website has, I think, maybe seven documents that are available for review for the diaspora. So some of those documents are the laws of the capital markets of Rwanda. I think they call it the legal framework. Another document is, let's see, there are a couple, and I'm going to definitely 7. So I will be discussing those. Also, I will be discussing on the Diaspora Venture Capital channel, so the tax law that will allow for you, the diaspora, to invest in Rwanda and not be subject to double taxation. That's very, very important because it is a hindrance for someone like you, someone like me, living wherever you're living. So I live in New Hampshire. If I invest money and if I get a dividend, let's say, right? Or if I cash out my investment, which I shouldn't even do that because it's for the long term, but let's say I get dividends. So as a United States citizen, your worldwide income is subject to taxation. So I don't want to have to pay, in Rwanda they call it a withholding tax, depending on your nationality on file. You can pay between 5% to 15% withholding tax. So if I get $100, so either $5 or $15 would have to stay in Rwanda because that would be withholding tax. Then I will get that $100 here, or so between $95 and $85 will make it back here to me. And then that $85 is going to be subject to taxation here in the United States, depending on your tax profile, depending if you're, filing as single, head of household, if you have your income is up to, X amount, it will be subject to tax. So it's much better to have $100 back here instead of 85. And that is something that the Rwandan government has has identified as an issue, and they have amended the tax law to give investors the opportunity to not pay any tax on your investment. So it's not, of course, easy peasy. There are rules and regulations. So I will be discussing that part of the amended tax law on the Diaspora Venture Capital channel. Now, let's see. So, again, what we are going to talk about, the Rwandan Stock Exchange companies, the legal frameworks on the KIFC websites, the tax law, and also our portfolio, of course. So this is just going to be commentary, unfiltered from me. And so I hope that you enjoy, and ultimately what I want from you, if you're watching this and if you're in the diaspora, what I'm hoping you will do is invest in Rwanda, invest cash capital in Rwanda, because that's something that I'm definitely going to do, because Rwanda is my native country and I want to retire there. I want to do that. Hopefully you will also see that it's a very good environment for you to be able to have capital gains and still be able to, and not pay tax. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. So I'm looking forward to you subscribing to this new channel. Please share this video if you know someone that is interested in investing in Africa. And so we will start posting regular videos very soon. I do want to say that what I would like to do is to have more people on this channel have commentary, so not just myself, because my commentary is biased, obviously, and that's okay. It's okay to just be aware of that. So if you feel that you can provide good content, send me a message. If you find this video on Facebook, you can send me a direct message. If you find this video on our new YouTube channel, I will leave our email so that you can contact me that way. And so I will close with a little lesson in branding for all of my entrepreneurs right there. So because I'm going to be talking about investing in Rwanda, I got this hat from Amazon. You can find anything on Amazon. And I believe that it was maybe $15, $16 that I paid. You can get something written on a hat and that makes it your brand. Great. And the reason why I have 2050 on this hat is because the reason why Rwanda is doing all this is because Rwanda wants to be at a certain level in terms of a GDP in 2050. So the document that actually lists where Rwanda wants to be in 2050 and how they're going to do that, which includes, of course, investing in capital markets, is so they call it Vision 2050. So, simple lesson in branding. If you're going to talk about something, have something on yourself or on your YouTube channel that will remind whoever is watching that there is something bigger than you, right? Or that you're talking about something important. So every time you're going to see me on Diaspora Venture Capital, I will be wearing this hat. It was a very affordable investment. It's going to be an expense for my company here. And voila, so there we go. So I'm hoping to, I look forward to 2022. We will speak very soon. You can send me a direct message if you're on Facebook. Send me an email if you're on YouTube. Happy New Year, everyone.